Hallo, ich bin Rana, the German teacher, and today is our Lexion 3, which is about feminine nouns, die. So, in German, it is denoted with die, as we have learned in the previous video about the masculine nouns, which is denoted with der. In this video, we are going to learn about feminine nouns and their examples and how to distinguish between what is masculine noun and what is feminine noun, so you can put their article quite distinctively and you know that what the article you should put before any word. So moving on to the next slide, we will begin this lesson. Let's go. Just like in the masculine nouns, here also feminine personen is also have feminine article, like example die Mutter, die Tante, die Schwester means the mother, the aunt, the sister. They all have feminine article cause they are feminine in gender. They are female in genders. That's why. So next, weibliche Berufe, which means female jobs. Example, die Pilotin, die Malerin, die Arztin, which means the pilot, the painter, the doctor, and you will see all these female jobs have I in at their ending. So I in at their ending denotes that the person who is doing the job is a female. So weiblich Berufe and weiblich feminine Personen, they all have the article die. Next, Zahlen. Zahlen is called numbers. Example, die eins, die zwei, die zehn. These also have feminine article. Next, Bäume and Pflanzen. What is Blume and Pflanzen? It is trees and plants. So here you can see the Rose, the Blume, the Palme, the Eiche, they all have feminine article. But here we see some exceptions. Learn this, you have to keep in mind only cactus does not have female article. It have their article. Apart from being the trees and plant family, it does not have the female article. As you can see, rest of the other trees and plants all have female article. But moving on to the next, it is called fruits, obst. Here examples is the banana, the ananas, the Erdbeer, the Traube, the kiwi. So these all have feminine article. But here we also have some exception, and it is the apple. Apart from being the ops family, the apple have masculine articles. So just have to learn this exception that the apple, apart from being ops family, which is fruit family, is the only one who have their article. The rest one will have female article, which is feminine article. In German, it is said D-I-D-E-A. In English, D-I-E, called die, which is denoted for the female nouns. Moving on to the next slide. Next example is Flugzeuge, Schiffe, Motorrad, which means airplane, ships, and motorcycle. So all the examples like the Boeing, the F-19, the Titanic, the Yamaha, the Harley Davidson, and many more, the Royal Enfield, the Indian, and many more ships, etc., etc. They always have feminine article, which is D. Moving on to the next slide. So in feminine articles, we are now going to the endungens, which is endings by which you can just know by seeing these endings you can just know whether these things fall under feminine or not. As we have discussed in the previous video, männliche article also have these things so that you can distinguish whether this is feminine, this is masculine or not. But feminine article also have these things like UNG, which is UNG in German. So die Heizung, die Rechnung, die Verreisung, die Bildung, die Kleidung, die Meinung, these all have feminine article, which is die. Same for height, kite, die Freiheit, die Bibelheit, die Dunkelheit, die Krankenheit, die Feigheit, die Ehrkeit, die Punktlichkeit. All of these also have feminine article. So if you want to really learn this and practice this, so just pause my video. If you want to learn this and practice it, just pause my video, write it down in your paper, in your notebook, so that you will know where to use these tricks and tips. So moving on to the next slide. It has shaft, which is the Gesellschaft, the Freundschaft, the Botschaft, the Eigenschaft. Here you can see shaft is always at the ending, so any words which end with shaft, it already falls under D category, feminine category. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Eiontion in German, Eontion So all the words with ending ion, tion, sion, they always have the article, the feminine article. Here you can see region, religion, million, and adoption, action, definition, depression, the discussion, the illusion. These all have female article. Moving on to the next slide. But there are some exceptions also for that. For this ION, the exceptions is here: the lampion, the scorpion, the spion, the stallion. So you have to just keep in mind these four exceptions. Apart from it, any words which ends with ION, it's already falls under D category. So next example is IK in German, EK, the music, the politic, the mathematic, the technique, the optic. So here you can see IK is also at the ending, IK, 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 IK. So by reading any sentence, any word, you can see if the word ends with IK, it already falls under D category, which is feminine category. Moving on to the next slide. But here also we have some exceptions for IK, which is they're Catholic. It also ends with IK, but it does not have the article. It have masculine article. They're Catholic, they're Atlantic, they're Pacific, they're Mosaic, they're Plastic. So you have to just keep these exceptions in mind. The rest will already on your fingertips. So for the TAT in English, but in German, TAT. Die Tacht, Tacht, Tacht. It pronounces Tacht. So any word ends with Universität, Qualität, Aktivität, Realität. It falls under D category. So moving to the next slide. It is UR in German, UR. So the nature, the culture, the temperature, the agentur, the architecture, all these aligns with the article. But here we have exceptions. The ending is already UR, but these not fall under D category, which is feminine category. So the exceptions are das Abitur, das Future, das Fleur. So you have to keep this exception in mind. The rest will be on your fingertip. Moving on to the next slide. Same for A and Z, E and Z, which is A and Z. Same for A and Z and E and Z. As you can see, these words end with this and this. Same for ANZ and ENZ. As you can see, these words have the ending ANZ, 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 ENZ, 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 and they also have the feminine article. Any word, and with these word, any word that have ending ANZ and ENZ, they already falls under feminine article category. They are feminine nouns. So moving to the next slide. Same for AGE, ADE, di garage, di tage, di marmelade. They already falls under D category because they have endings of AGE, AGE and ADE. So you will be habitual to this. Don't panic. You just have to write this in your notebook, and after 2 or 3 revision, you will be get habitual to this. I know this seems pretty hard because I have made video for masculine and there are so much endings. For female, there are many endings, and same the upcoming video will be for neutral, and they also have these examples. But after 2 or 3 revisions, you will get usual to it and you will remember everything. So just believe me. Just write it down in your paper, in your notebook, anywhere so that you can revise it whenever you look at that document, whenever you look at your notebook. Okay. Same for EI, ERI. Same these endings like you see. Like you can see these endings ERI, ERI, EI, EI, EI. They the Turkai, the Mongolai. So they already falls under D category, which is feminine category. So moving on to the next slide. Same for IN, Lettering and Fangin, Bakerin. They already have D category. So any words with ends with IN, you will assume, and you will not assume, you will be 100% sure that it is D article. It have D article. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Same for ITIES, bronchitis, gastritis. So they also have D article with no exceptions. So you just only know that any word with end with ITIS, they already falls under D category. Thank you for watching this video. If you like, you can subscribe to my channel. It is Rana, the German teacher. And if you want any query, if you want any PDF, you can just mail me here, Rana, the German teacher @gmail.com. I will send you the PDF of these files so that you don't have to panic. And maybe you don't have to write in your notebook, but I will recommend you. So I will recommend you to write in your notebook so that you will get habitual to it. Okay, thank you. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you. Thank you very much.